Blaney, Eric Jones, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. reporting from the pits, and Danica Patrick alongside Denny Hamlin will be in the Hollywood Hotel Mobile Studio. John Entz, Fox Sports president and executive producer of production, says this is something that Fox Sports has talked about doing for a long time. So again, this is for the TV coverage of the Pocono 250, June 10th. Two IndyCar drivers held up at gunpoint. According to TMZ, Scott Dixon and Dario Franchitti were robbed at gunpoint at an Indianapolis Taco Bell. Incident happened on Sunday night, last Sunday, in the Taco Bell drive-thru a few blocks from the Speedway at approximately 9:45 p.m. Two teenage suspects were arrested and are currently being held on felony robbery charges. This according to TMZ and Indy Police. And speaking of Indy, man, Indianapolis 500 held annually on Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day, originally known as Decoration Day, a top level of American championship car racing. Open wheel racing, known as IndyCar, the sanctioning body. Indy Racing League, which was formed in 1994 and began competition in 1996 under the name IndyCar, which is owned by Hummel and Company. IndyCar has a crazy, there's a lot of stuff that led to the name IndyCar, but the word Indy refers to the Indy 500. There's also a kart in their involvement, but it gets a little hairy from there. But so we're just focused on Indy 500, which actually the name Indianapolis 500 was not used until 1981. But the first running, 1911, known as the greatest spectacle of racing. Now, some interesting factoids. As I mentioned, the Indianapolis 500 until 1981, but from 1911 to 1915, and then 1920 through 1941, 1946 to 1980, it was known as the 500-mile International Sweepstakes, which is kind of weird. And then in 1916, it was known as the 300-mile International Sweepstakes. Then in 1919, known as the Liberty Sweepstakes. So there you go. So, it's not like NASCAR, in 1947, boom. But IndyCar, is kart, Champ Car, and somehow there was like this big legal dispute, and Champ Car went away, and wound up IndyCar becoming this whatever it is now. But yeah, definitely. And trying to research and get information, it blows my brain up because there's like so much stuff involved. But the inaugural race of what we know now today as the Indy 500, 1911, which was won by Ray Horan, and the 100th anniversary in 2011, but the 100th running in 2016, won by the 2016 rookie Alexander Rossi. Some Indy 500 stats. There's a three-way tie for most wins. A.J. Foyt, Al Unser, and Rick Mears, each with 4, and the active driver with the most wins is Helio Castroneves with 3. The record for the most pole positions, Rick Mears with 6, and the team with the most wins is Team Penske with 16. And what about the milk? Here we go. Louis Maya, the 1933 winner. After the race, Louis Maya asked for a glass of buttermilk, but in 1936, his second win, he asked for a glass of regular milk, and they gave him a whole bottle instead. So that led to the start of the traditional bottle of milk. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Indiana, opened in 1909. Architect Carl G. Fisher, along with James A. Allison, F.H. Wheeler, and Arthur Newberry. And on the grounds is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, which hosts the Auto Racing Hall of Fame. And the Brickyard Crossing Golf Resort. Golf course, 14 holes outside the track along the backstretch and 4 holes in the infield. And of course, I told many times, you'll see the sand trap over there at turn 4. And then the name Brickyard, back in the day when Indy was first built, the track surface was actually brick. And then they went ahead and, repaved to put the asphalt on, and they left 1 yard stretch of original brick, which is now the start-finish line. So 1 yard of bricks, and that's got the name, the Brickyard. Which they kiss. I don't know where that I don't know where that tradition started with the kissing in the bricks. Power rankings for Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series as they get it ready for the Coca-Cola 600, number 1 through 20. Starting with 1 through 5 in order, Bert Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Truex Jr., Jay McMurray, and Kyle Busch, who climbed up from number 8. Number 6 through 10 is Chase Elliott, Joe Logano, Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, and Ryan Blaney. Then number 11 through number 15, Clint Bowyer, Denny Hamlin, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kurt Busch, and Trevor Bayne. And then number 16 through 20, it's Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth, Daniel Suarez, Ryan Newman, and Eric Jones. Okay, now racing fans, it is time for the MotorsportsRadio.net racing schedule. Big racing weekend this weekend. The Big Three, Monaco Grand Prix, Indianapolis 500, and the Coca-Cola 600. NASCAR at Charlotte once again. Charlotte Motor Speedway, Concord, North Carolina. Time to chew up some asphalt down in the Tar Heel State. Charlotte 1.5-mile quad oval. Banking at the corners 24 degrees, and at the straights it is 5. IndyCar, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Brickyard capacity 235,000. Permanent seating altogether 400,000. Open 1909. 2.5 miles, rectangular oval, asphalt with the brick, and then bankings at the corner is 9.2 degrees, and at the straights it is 0. And speaking of Indy, NASCAR just changed the whole 2018 schedule. We'll talk about that next week, so keep your ears open for that. And then Formula One is heading to the Principality of Monaco. Woo, yeah. As of 2015, had a population of 38,400, the second most densely populated country, and is a micro state. Now for this weekend's racing card, starting with NASCAR Xfinity Series Racing on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1 and PRN. And this is going to be for the Hisense 4K TV 300. This is going to be 200 advertised laps. Stages 1 and 2 will be 90 laps each, and Stage 3 will be 110. Then on Sunday, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Racing, a big one, Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox and PRN. And that's going to be the Coca-Cola 600, 400 advertised laps, 4 stages, 100 laps each. And then IndyCar action Sunday afternoon at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, TV coverage on ABC, and that's going to be for the 101st running at the Indianapolis 500. Then Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern on NBC or NBCSN. Check both, okay? And this is going to be for the Monaco Grand Prix. 78 laps, race distance 260.286 kilometers. Circuit length is 3.337 kilometers. First Monaco Grand Prix 1950. Lap record set by Lewis Hamilton in 2016. 1 minute 17.939 seconds. And the tires being used on Sunday are going to be Ultra, Super, and Soft. Alright, so I'll run down one more time for the Big Three on Sunday. So Sunday morning, 8 a.m., Monaco Grand Prix, NBC or NBCSN. Sunday afternoon at 11 a.m., the Indy 500 on ABC. Then on Sunday evening at 6 o'clock for the NASCAR fans, Coca-Cola 600, and that's at 6 o'clock on Fox. Okay, program note, Xfinity Series race recap this Saturday after the Xfinity Series race, and then we'll recap the Coca-Cola 600 after that race is over on Sunday. Those for the live broadcasters, and of course, everything will be ready on demand. So next week, for those who haven't heard yet, NASCAR has just made some big changes for 2018. We're going to talk about it today, but we ran out of time. But next week, we'll definitely be talking about it. So, let you know about that. That's next week's show on Thursday. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a good holiday weekend. Remember, don't drink and drive. Stay out of the hospital and stay out of jail. They're from North Babylon, New York, on Eastern Long Island. This is Manny Allegretta, and this is MotorsportsRadio.net.